Also coming up, Parliament descends into drama as both sides debate whether or not to vet Chief Justice nominee Paul Bafuboni despite pending court cases.
SSNIT is on the hands for new investors for 3 of its struggling hotels, including La Palm Beach, but every deal will undergo intense scrutiny this time.
And on the international front, thousands of flights cancelled for delayed in the U.S. as week-old government shutdown finally hits air traffic control.
Well, live on TV3 Ghana, on Facebook, all across the world on 3news.com. You can share your thoughts and comments with us.
Starting from this issue that never seems to go away and may not go away anytime soon, having to do with the Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited SML. Now, they are appealing to government to rescind the decision to terminate the company's contract with the Ghana Revenue Authority. The termination followed investigations by the Office of the Special Prosecutor, which concluded that there was no justification for the contract and that its scope and financial terms were unnecessary and potentially wasteful. But SML disagrees. A member of the company's legal team, Cephas Boyu, insists that the contract was beneficial to the state and has accused the OSP of spreading falsehoods. He spoke earlier to the media.
Now, in the OSP's press release, and their press actually, it was filled with insinuations, speculative remarks, innuendos, assumptions, and veiled accusations, rather than presenting clear facts and evidence to the Ghanaian people. Deliberate misinformation in the guise of investigation, and then also distortion and political coloration by the OSP of the facts concerning SML's operations, ownership, and institutional collaborations. The OSP is a fact-finding institution. Its mandate, we all know, is to investigate alleged corruption and corruption-related matters, and to present its findings and evidence before a court of competent jurisdiction for adjudication. That's simply what it is. So, you cannot turn yourself into a judge. And that's exactly what OSP has done. We expect that the presidency will take their time, look at the evidences that we have, the evidence that we have provided, and take a second look at the termination directive. They shouldn't seek to tarnish the image of SML in the quest of taking that job. That is what we are definitely not going to allow.
Let's speak to private legal practitioner Martin Kpebu on this particular development. Mr. Kpebu, good evening. Thank you for joining us on News 360.
Yeah, good evening, Name.
Right. To start with, it looks as though the SML, lawyer clearly disagrees with the government's position to terminate the contract outright. Now, they believe that there were some achievements based on the contract and the period that it held. So they want the president to reconsider the termination. You clearly should agree with them that at least some positives were recorded, and based on that, we should reconsider the decision, no?
Name, I'm still struggling to appreciate the positives that were recorded. If you have the opportunity, let's dive straight into the Manasseh documentary and the OSP investigative report. Look, in the Manasseh documentary, I just want to make 2 statements. You see Christian Soti as former technical advisor to the GRA boss. He left GRA, then he came to be MD of SML. You see the collusion. Good. Revolving doors. Manasseh asked him, look, I see this publication in the Daily Graphic front page. SML saves Ghana 3 point something billion. What do you say? That's what he said. No, 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 no. SML didn't do such a thing. I'm not aware. MDO name. This is the MD of the company. Say they didn't save Ghana 3.1 billion. In case it's not 3.1, but over 3 billion. Right?
Yeah.
He says, no, 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 it's not him. The MD disavows. MD runs away from this saving the Ghanaian purse such money. And what else do you want us to say? It's video. It's not even voice for anybody to say it was doctored. You see him. I like the Ghanaian pidgin from Hausa to they say Ghani Ghani. You see him with your eyes. Christian Sochi said no. They are not involved in such transaction audit. You go further in the documentary. The IT director of SML, he was asked the contract for measuring the oil, that's the downstream from the tank farms, MP and GRA side, that SML equipment, the flow meters, that's the equipment for measuring the oil. The SML equipment as against GRA equipment, which are better. Live on camera, he said the GRA stroke MPA equipment are better. Then IT, the man in charge of IT, the man in charge of the equipment for SML, what again do you need? On camera, nobody said their voices were doctored. It's even too late to say it's doctored.
Right.
So look, SML can do 1,000 press conferences. These two statements, Christian Sochi's own and their own director of IT, nails them. These two different witnesses nail them. They can go to heaven and come back. There's no amount of sophistry that can resurrect their case. It's their own. They shot themselves in the foot, right?
Right.
Then now let's go to the OSP report. You see around paragraph, and this equipment not working, defective equipment, etc. They are covered under paragraph 215 of the OSP report, and then paragraph 212 and 213. Now let's come to the side where Ofori-Atta is roped in. You see paragraph 112 and 113. Ofori-Atta writes to controller to pay SML for August, September, etc. of 2020, when the situation was that SML had not done any work. You see emails showing that SML was struggling. They couldn't onboard into the system. They couldn't integrate themselves. They were waiting for West Blue. So this time we've moved to the transaction audit. First, we're talking about the measurement of the oil. Now we've moved to the transaction audit side. That's what the paragraph 112, 130 are talking about. You see emails saying that SML was whining all over, crying that look, we cannot onboard, we can't integrate in the system. And Ofori-Atta wrote that they should be paid.
Okay.
They should be paid. So that's why the OSP is saying, if Ofori-Atta was not benefiting, how would you, as Minister for Finance, say that they should pay SML when work has not been done?
So you totally disagree with the position the lawyer shares that the termination of the contract should be reconsidered. Before you take leave of us, counsel, briefly, we also know that the other argument which other people have made is that if you have a case, why not go to court? Why tell the media or engage in a press conference to tell us about it? How do you react to this, that the people need to know or should not know, and that it should purely be a legal basis as must be in court?
Oh, you know, the way our laws usually are restrictive once the case starts in court. Once they start in court, we can't be doing very detailed analysis. So there is good wisdom in the OSP Act saying that the OSP should update us twice a year in terms of cases they have. That's a different one. And more directly to what you are asking, under the law, it's not only here. Listen, Martin, I can tell you, look, living in America over 20 years ago, I would see on TV, there's what they call the district attorney, okay, over 20 years ago. I don't need to read this from a book. You open TV in the US, you see the district attorney holding press conferences and updating the public on his cases. Okay. District attorney, I don't need a book. See with my own eyes over 20 years ago. So you talk about from 2001, 2002, 2003 onwards in America. Until date, they do it. So somehow it's okay. That's why we're having this program. That's what they say, travel and see. So sometimes when you haven't traveled, you can,
Right.
you know, it's okay. We are exchanging ideas. So me, more than 20 years on, it's difficult to convince me that this is the time we should rather shut the public out.
Okay.
Rather, that approach of the prosecutor carrying the citizens along from day one is what we call whole of society approach to governance,
Right.
or whole of government approach. Yes, the prosecutor is working for the government. He's going on a project. He's telling the citizens what is in it. So please, citizens, watch. And it will help so that citizens will be keenly following.
Thank you.
For me, there's no amount of explanations. Something I've seen more than 20 years on. It's difficult to tell me that this is the time
I'm sure
we should be shutting out the in natural fact, if you look in Ghana,
Hey, Council, we would have to leave it here for now. Clearly, we know about the public interest in this, so certainly we'll be engaging you further in this, and especially tomorrow also on key points. I'm sure you'll be one of the key voices that Ghanaians would want to hear. Martin Kpebu is a private legal practitioner.
Let's now take you to Parliament, where the minority in the House has insisted that the vetting of Chief Justice nominee Paul Bafuboni cannot happen until the pending legal cases filed by Gertrude Torkornoo have been decided. It follows an earlier motion they submitted to the Speaker asking that he stops the Appointments Committee from all processes leading to the vetting. The majority side rejected the demand by the minority and said the vetting will still happen on Monday, November 10, as advertised.
The Constitution is very clear on these matters. The nomination of the Chief Justice is properly before this House. It has been referred to the committee, and the committee will sit on Monday. I urge him to appear before the committee as a member. You can ask all your questions. The Chief Justice nominee is ready and available and willing to answer all questions put to him, and very, very capable. I dare submit that the man who is going to be nominated himself is conflicted. He is in conflict. How can you, who knows that that office, the occupant, is being denied her human rights, and you are supposed to empanel, you are refusing to empanel, yet this House should bless you with the benefit of vetting. We want to bring it in the context of the Business Committee report and invite the majority leader to graciously withdraw that aspect of his submission to the effect that on Monday there's going to be vetting. We will not support a report, that business committee report, that has an aspect that says that there's going to be vetting. That vetting will not happen. It will not happen. You must follow due process. Follow the law. Do the right thing. We, the minority, will not shut our mouth. You can follow due process. That's all.
It should stop bringing in the vetting, the scheduled vetting of the CJ on Monday, because that one, it will happen. This House will perform its constitutional rights and duties. The Supreme Court has already settled that matter.
Majority will be brief.
A mere filing of a case. In other case, Mr. Speaker, the matter before the court is a certiorari application.
Majority whip, be brief.
It's a certiorari application.
Honorable Majority Whip, be brief.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I'm being brief. But let us settle the matters on the law. The application before the court is a certiorari application. there is no injunction application before the court. It is an application of sexual rights seeking the parliament, the court should prevent parliament from performing its constitutional rights. And that application will be heard.
Monday will certainly be interesting in the House of Parliament. We'll see whether that vetting will happen or not. Away from that, the management of the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SSNIT, has told Parliament's Public Accounts Committee that they are still in the business of looking for strategic investors for 3 of its hotels. That's La Palm, Elmina Beach Resort and Busia Beach Resort. Deputy Minister of Finance Thomas Nyako Ampim assured that the search for new investors for these 3 hotels will not involve politically exposed individuals.
And it's on the Golden Beach Hotels Limited. Your claim that it was part of the hotels earmarked for participation of a strategic investor. Are these hotels still struggling? I mean, what is the status of these hotels?
Honorable Chair, all 3 hotels are struggling. We are seeking for a strategic investor for La Palm, Elmina Beach Resort, and Busia. However, for SSNIT Guest House, Ridge Royal, and Labadi Beach Hotel, we do not intend to seek any strategic investors coming in. We believe that those 3 hotels should be allowed to run on their own and make profit. Labadi Beach Hotel, for instance, in 2024, made profits in excess of 80 million Ghana cedis. Thank you.
Can you confirm to this committee that the decision by SSNIT to give out these hotels was solely a decision by SSNIT and not...
Mr. Chairman, he just stated that SSNIT intends to look for a strategic investor. We would want to give assurance that any decision to involve a strategic investor will be carefully looked at and will be in the interest of SSNIT. We will not do that for any politically exposed person. SSNIT will take a decision that will be in the interest of SSNIT and for pensioners of this country. Thank you.
Moving on, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has condemned the violent attacks on Environmental Protection Agency officials and journalists in Obuasi and the NIMOS team in Shidiem. The incidents occurred during a raid on the activities of illegal miners. My colleague Judith Brown reports.
The ministry in a press briefing confirmed its commitment to getting to the bottom of the case involving a number of officials, including journalists, who were injured during the attack. The ministry has assured the public that it will leave no stone unturned in bringing the perpetrators to justice. In a statement, the ministry described the attack as unfortunate and urged Ghanaians to support its efforts to protect the country's natural resources.
2 journalists were in critical condition. Per the reports I received this morning, they are quite stable. One had to be operated on, had a surgery yesterday. Several others, sustained injuries. Again, this incident is unfortunate. Honorable Amakufi-Bua, again, who also doubles as Acting Minister for Environment, Science and Technology, wishes to convey his utmost disappointment at this turn of events for these incidences. And he wishes to make it clear that he remains resolute and unperturbed in his resolve to deal with the matter on hand. Mining is not illegal. Mining is viable. Mining is a legal activity. However, the illegalities in the trade, mining in water bodies, near water bodies, mining in forest reserves, mining by the roadside, mining without permit, those illegalities are considered criminal. And those illegalities are not going to be tolerated.
The ministry also indicated that investigations have begun into a separate incident during which illegal miners attacked personnel of the National Anti-Illegal Mining Task Force, NIMOS.
Whilst this incident is unfortunate, NIMOS remains poised and sends warnings to all galamseyers to desist from such acts in the future. Colonel Boa, the Director of Operations 491, has indicated, and he's reiterated, that the efforts to combat illegal mining is going to continue regardless of this incident. Now, following all of those reports, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Honorable Emmanuel Amakofi-Boa, immediately notified the Speaker of Parliament and the Interior Minister for swift and urgent investigations into the matter. Honorable Boa has vehemently condemned this act. He's described it as unacceptable and an affront to state authority.
While swift action was taken in the aftermath of the Hwidiem attack, including the arraignment of the Sutifi North MP, the latest incident has added on to the concern for the safety of officials, journalists, and even the military in the fight against illegal mining. Judith Brown, TV3 News.
The youth of Hwidiem have have refuted allegations that they attacked members of the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat Task Force, which is the NIMOS Task Force. According to them, the incident was carried out by some youth from a nearby town. The chairman of the Hwidiem Youth, Kojo Entry, stated that the many young people in the area have begun fleeing the town out of fear that the task force may return to retaliate.
People have mobbed or beaten and security personnel. Because of that, the reason why we are doing this conference, that it has somehow happened at the Jabawasi. So people are combining that what happened there is the same thing. No.
Some people are trying to leave.
Yes. So people are living in fear. Can't you see? People are living in fear. They are running away the town because they know that the soldiers will come to revenge. So both women and everybody is scared in this town. Haven't you seen when you came? People can sleep, people can live. They are hiding around because they know that and heard that they say security service. They have teamed up to come operations to this town. We've noticed that and we've also heard that. So we are pleading the media, please help us. Let's send this news so that those who think Hwidiem is in Rambo, or Hwidiem is in Rambo side, it's not like that. Hwidiem is peace. Hwidiem is peace now and forever. We are engaging the government too. Have you seen all these people around? They have nothing doing. They are all bleeding to eat at this area. So we are urging the government. We need a proper certificate to a company that will come to this our aid and get the concession. Government to get involved. We the youth will get involved so that we will come so that those of our people who does not have a work to do, they will get something to do.
And in the courts, during the submission of the concluding part of her testimony in the trial of former National Signals Bureau Director General Kwabena Edubwahin, the prosecution's second witness stated that 2 invoices bearing the same serial numbers were used to purchase 2 separate equipments from the same supplier, ISC Holding. The witness, Ruby Edumwa, who serves as the Director of Finance at the National Signals Bureau, further informed the Accra High Court that the corresponding invoice for the purchase of the cyber defense system could not be found in the Bureau's records. And this is reported by Lord Iduasari.
The former National Signals Bureau Director, Kwabena Edubwahin, and his wife, Angela Ejay Boateng, and the company are facing trial for multiple charges including stealing, causing financial loss to the Republic, and money laundering. They have pleaded not guilty and are on bail. In court on Friday, November 7, led by Deputy Attorney General Dr. Justice Remsai, the Director of Finance at the National Signals Bureau explained that she first came across the invoice bearing the same number as the one used to purchase a digital investigative audit system when it was presented to her by EOCO officials. She affirmed that in her position, she had the oversight responsibility to see to all transactions carried out by the National Signals Bureau. She, however, noted that after being shown the second invoice, she could not find payment done on the bank statement. Asked by the Deputy Attorney General what it connoted, she described it as one which is erroneous. During cross-examination by lead counsel for Kwabena Edubwahin, the prosecution's witness told the court that the Bureau of National Communications became the statutory body of the National Signals Bureau in 2023. Ruby Edumwa also admitted that as the head of finance of the National Signals Bureau, she did not have the clearance to know about some national security operational accounts at her level. The case has been adjourned to November 12 for continuation of the cross-examination of the prosecution's witness by lawyers of Kwabena Edubuahin. Lord Udasari, TV3 News, Accra.
Now, every minute, someone dies from alcohol-related causes around the world. The World Health Organization says alcohol consumption is a serious public health issue. Despite the revenue it generates through taxation, there is growing stakeholder pressure to pass the long-awaited national alcohol policy.
In Ghana, reports show that 9.2% of truck drivers operate above the legal blood alcohol limit, and an alarming 1% believes alcohol improves driving performance. The National Road Safety Authority says this is confirmation that many drivers normally break the law on alcohol limits. That is why the authority is advocating for a national alcohol policy with stricter legal limits.
For now, what we're looking at is the alcohol level that we call it BAC is 0.08 that is being used in Ghana. I'm hoping that, of course, that number will come down to 0.04. I think that's or lower than that.
Chairman of the Alcohol Policy Alliance, Benjamin Anabila, is calling for stricter advertising regulations.
When the regulation also comes, it will regulate the setting up of these bars. If you listen to regulation, you are supposed to set up a bar not less than 200 meters to educational institutions. But I tell you what, you go into some of our educational institutions, in some of the campuses, we have bars. Even these our basic schools and the bars, drinking bars are springing up. But we believe that when the law comes and then it stipulates it directly, then it means we can strike and then make sure that all these things can be implemented.
The draft National Alcohol Control Regulations, introduced in 2017, has yet to be finalized and enacted as it awaits a legislative instrument to ensure effective implementation of the policy. If passed, it will minimize the negative impact of alcohol consumption on individuals and the society. Chairman of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Health, Dr. Mark Kurtz Nawani, has assured that once the LI reaches Parliament, it will be passed within a month.
We had the law so many years ago, but there are no regulations to back it. As a member of Parliament, in both subsidiary legislation and health, I can assure you that when it comes to Parliament, we will be able to pass this bill within a matter of 1 month.
Alcohol use is linked to a wide range of health and social issues, including cancer, suicide, domestic violence, traffic injuries, and premature death. According to the World Health Organization, alcohol causes 3 million deaths globally each year, with 13% of those deaths occurring among individuals aged 20 to 39.
And now, Telecel Ghana Foundation has paid the medical bills of some new needy mothers in the maternity ward at the Achimota Hospital who could not go home for non-payment of bills. This program forms part of the foundation's annual homecoming initiative to make a positive social impact across the country.
Since 2011, the Telecel Homecoming Initiative has put smiles on the faces of patients by covering general admission costs, maternity support, laboratory fees, and other medical expenses. This year, Telecel Foundation chose the Achimota Hospital to send some good cheer. Director of External Affairs at Telecel Ghana, Komla Boame, says this initiative has had a positive social impact on Ghanaians since inception.
In the space of health, this is one of the many interventions that we do. You have heard not too long ago, Telecel had donated some cervical cancer screening facilities to Kolebu Teaching Hospital. We also believe that once we offer payment for hospital bills, we should also equip the citizens for sustainability. This is just one of the ways by which the Telecel Foundation supports many people within our communities.
The hospital's Deputy Chief Nursing Officer, Salome Frimpong, commended Telecel for extending such kind gestures and called on other corporate institutions to do same.
Thank you to Telecel Foundation for choosing Achimota Hospital. In fact, we were not expecting this kind gesture. It has come a long way to help the clients who have been discharged. So we plead with the general public and other organizations that if you want to help other healthcare facility, please choose Achimota.
Among some of the patients who benefited from the Homecoming initiative is a first-time mother, Joyce, who shared her excitement.
God should bless them wherever they get the money from before paying our bills. We are very grateful and we are very happy leaving the hospital to our homes. We are very happy. God bless you people.
At least 20 patients across 6 wards received sanitary and hygiene items or had their medical bills paid in order for them to reconnect with their families.
You're still watching News 360. We have business, sports, entertainment right after this break. Stay with us.
I love President Charcoal. Why? When there are so many other charcoal toothpaste. There's both charcoal and lemon. Oh, does it? Yes. Look right here. Yes. Pepsodent Charcoal has 2 of nature's power of activated charcoal and lemon essence. It removes stains and white.
Good evening. This is the business segment on News 360. My name is Minu Aful. UK-based research firm Fitch Solutions is predicting a slight weakening of the Ghana cedi against the US dollar before the end of 2025, following what has been described as a historic year of strong performance for the local currency.
Ghana cedi, which appreciated by more than 29% against the US dollar since the start of the year, is expected to see a mild depreciation before the end of 2025. That's according to UK-based research firm Fitch Solutions, which says the cedi's remarkable gains have made 2025 one of its strongest years in history. Currently, the local currency is trading at around 12 cedis to the dollar at the Forex Bureau and about 10 cedis 92 pesos on the interbank market. Fitch, however, anticipates that the cedi will weaken by about 8% by the end of 2026, settling around 11 cedis 70 pesos to the dollar. The firm explains that while most major sub-Saharan African currencies, including those of Ghana, Nigeria, Zambia and South Africa, will remain broadly stable through the final quarter of 2025 and into 2026, modest pressures are expected as global market conditions shift.
Now, ahead of the 2026 budget presentation, a new KPMG survey shows that 82% of Ghanaian businesses are at least somewhat confident that the previous budget measures will support sustained economic growth over the next 2 to 3 years. But only 30% express strong confidence, signaling lingering concerns about implementation.
The 2026 pre-budget survey conducted by KPMG captured the views of over 200 respondents across Ghana's services, industry and agricultural sectors. Participants included companies, sole proprietorships and partnerships with strong representation from mid-career professionals aged 35 to 44. While the majority of respondents acknowledged moderate relevance of government flagship initiatives like Ejumara, Big Push and 24-hour economy, only 28% found them highly relevant to their operations, suggesting cautious optimism. Tax policy remains a sticky point. Just 30% agree that current tax measures strike the right balance between revenue generation and business competitiveness, with nearly half remaining neutral. The most urgent call for businesses was for expanded access to affordable finance. Grants, soft loans and credit guarantee schemes topped the list of budget priorities, especially for MSMEs facing liquidity constraints and high interest rates.
In other countries, things like guarantee schemes are there. But at the end of the day, providing finance is always about risk management. How do we ensure that we would go through the credit appraisal processes through clustering to ensure that people are actually given the right financing but have been assessed to be able to provide back or pay back.
Energy and infrastructure also emerged as critical concerns. Respondents ranked reliable power supply and improved transport networks as essential to sustaining 24-hour operations and boost productivity. The findings are expected to inform government's policy direction ahead of the 2026 national budget.
Now, the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, has assured of its commitment to maintaining a trusted, inclusive and globally competitive capital market for investors and the citizenry. Acting Director General James Kluche Aveji gave the assurance at an engagement with stakeholders in Koforidua, dubbed Time with SEC.
Securities and Exchange Commission, a regulatory agency, is mandated to protect investors, promote fair and efficient market, and facilitate capital formation. At Koforidua, an array of stakeholders took part in the Time with SEC initiative. The event aimed to deepen participant understanding of the capital market and equip them to make informed financial decisions. Acting Director General of SEC, James Kluche Aveji, emphasized that understanding the financial market promotes financial literacy, builds public and investor confidence, and empowers participants to make responsible financial choices whilst protecting investors. He cautioned against dealing with unregulated financial institutions who indulge in illegality and fraud.
Because of the advancement in technology, there are a number of fraudsters that are in the system that are offering fraudulent offers, giving out these offers to the public just to lure them so that they can fall prey to their strategy to defraud them.
He also disclosed that a new bill, Investor Compensation Fund, is in progress to provide relief to investors who may incur financial losses. Other stakeholders also underscored the positive impact of financial literacy education on decision-making and economic empowerment.
For us in the education sector, this investor education program will help us, learners and staff, to acquire some relevant knowledge and equip ourselves with facts about the securities market.
Our region, known for its hard-working people, our rich cultural heritage, and our growing economic potential, understand that financial literacy is more than just a tool. It's a key driver of wealth creation.
We'll end this segment with updates from the forex and commodities markets. I am Minu Afo. Stay with us.
Time now for sports, and we are going to update you on what to expect on Sunday. The never-ending rivalry will have a new chapter on Sunday as Hearts of Oak host Kumasi Asante Kotoko at the Accra Sports Stadium. Both sides, still unbeaten so far, will be seeking bragging rights and a better handle on the early title race. As part of the build-up to this blockbuster fixture, 3 Sports put together this preview.
Hearts of Oak and Asante Kotoko, 2 teams that have shaped a major part of Ghanaian football since the 1950s. Any clash between these 2 giants brings drama, goals, and unforgettable talking points. But this season, there's an extra layer of excitement. Both sides remain unbeaten. Host Hearts of Oak sit in the top 4, scoring 8 and conceding just 3 in as many games. Kotoko, having played fewer matches due to inter-club commitments, have scored 7 and conceded only 2. The Phobians are under the calm and steady guidance of Didi Dramani, a man who twice lifted the Premier League title with Asante Kotoko. He'll be chasing silverware again, this time with a club that has not tasted league glory since 2021.
I see it just to be one of the games, and then I see it to be an important game and an important feature in terms of what we want to do in the season. And so it's one of the league features, and then we want to remain very sustainable, and then we want to remain very consistent, and we want to keep our identity, we want to keep our direction, and then we would want to do as much as possible to do everything that is humanly possible for us to be able to get the best outcome from the game, but still giving out the best effort, energy, performance, and then bring the intensity, and then bring the right mindset.
The Porcupine Warriors have had the upper hand in recent years, winning most of the last 5 competitive meetings. But head coach Karim Zito, a former Kotoko player himself, knows this fixture defies form and history.
Hearts of Oak and Kotoko, everybody knows how the game is. It's one of the best and one of the most difficult game of between the 2. So everybody wants to win, just as we are going there with the mindset of winning. So it's like you plan against the best side of your opponent and then capitalize on the weaker side. So this is what we are doing in short to meet Hearts of Oak. Between Kotoko and Hearts, we played twice. We beat him 1. He also had us during the gala. So this is the 3rd one to prove to him that maybe the gala, as I said, to me the top 4. It wasn't, the timing was very bad for Kotoko. Automatically, we are going there with a mindset of beating him at the end of the day.
Beyond the pitch, the heartbeat of this rivalry lies with the fans. From the Chapter O stand to the Porcupine Tertiary, every encounter fuels pride, banter, and unfiltered passion. Once again, the stage is set. A rivalry rich in history, driven by pride and powered by generations of devotion. Whether in Accra or Kumasi, Hearts of Oak versus Asante Kotoko remains more than a football match. It's Ghana's ultimate football story, and that story will have a new page on Sunday.
We all look forward to that titanic clash on Sunday. I will be at the stadium, so do grab your tickets. Let's meet there and make sure that the better side win. Hearts of Oak all the way, though. Stay with us. We have the latest in entertainment for you right after this.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kale Charcoal Toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kale Charcoal Toothpaste. Kale Charcoal Toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini.
Is brought to you by GTP Lifestyle
and Napa Foods, Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil,
powered by 3 Entertainment.
Well, good evening and welcome to the Entertainment News segment here on News 360. My name is Noella Donko. Now, rapper Kendrick Lamar has emerged as the fourth runner for the 2026 Grammy Awards, leading the nominations with 9 nods, including top categories such as the Album of the Year and the Record of the Year. Meanwhile, African stars including Burna Boy, Wizkid and Tyler also made impressive showings, earning multiple nominations in the global and African music categories.
American rap superstar Kendrick Lamar has once again taken center stage, leading all artists with 9 nominations at the upcoming 68th Annual Grammy Awards, set to take place on February 1, 2026 in Los Angeles. The rapper's impressive showing places him ahead of Lady Gaga, who earned 7 nominations, and Bad Bunny, who follows closely with 6. Lame's nominations span several of the Grammy's most prestigious categories. His critically acclaimed album, GNX, has been nominated for Album of the Year, while his chart-topping collaboration titled Luther earned nods for both Song of the Year and Record of the Year. Beyond Lame's success, African music also scored a significant presence on the nominations list. The Best African Music Performance category featured top talents from across the continent, including Burna Boy, Wizkid, Davido, Ayra Starr, Omale, and Tyler. The 2026 Grammys promise to be a thrilling celebration of musical excellence, with Kendrick Lamar's 9 nominations, marking him as the artist to watch, and African stars continuing to make strides on the global platform.
Well, that's it for the entertainment news segment here on News 360. My name is Noella Donko.
Well, thank you, Noella, for entertainment. But we do have news just in. We have a confirmation from Justice Shrimsai. He is confirming that the docket on the case, the Republic versus Alexander Penyo-Markin, is at the Office of the Attorney General, awaiting prosecutorial review and decision. Now, the case involves a complaint of assault. Daye, is that what it is, Martin?
Yes.
That is what Dr. Justice Shrimsai, Deputy Attorney General, is confirming. And we'll bring you more of that at 10 p.m. where you join us for Ghana Tonight.
Yes.
So do join us on Ghana Tonight this evening. That's all for News 360 this evening. My name is Aisha Yakubu Khalid.
And I am Martin Asiedu Date. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Good evening.